Suicide is the third leading cause of death between ages of 15 to 24.
About 3 years ago, I attempted suicide by cutting my wrist. I was unsure about who I was and who I was meant to be at the time. I didn't exactly have many friends. My mom and I weren't exactly as close as we used to be because we were going through a very hard time, and life just kind of seemed to push us farther apart than we were. My ex was cheating on me, hitting me, and basically all around saying that I was useless and I wasn't good enough for anybody or anything, and he was surprised he was still with me. My mom and I got into arguments all the time. It just wasn't very good. So I started questioning whether maybe suicide was a good route or a bad route. The pros of suicide outweighed the cons, and I locked myself in the bathroom. I slit my wrist, and as far as I remember, I passed out, and my mom, I guess, realized what I was doing. She broke the door down, tried to cover my wounds, and then called 911. Well, after everything happened, she made me go to counseling. I broke up with the boy, and we were seeking help because of how everything was planning out. Me and her, we still go to counseling once a week. Mommy-daughter time, I guess is what she calls it. I'm kind of glad I didn't go through with it. I've experienced a lot of good memories now. I met a lot of good people, and I'm kind of glad my mom stopped me.
25 million Americans suffer from depression each year.
What age did you start thinking about suicide?
13.
And how old are you now?
18.
What triggered you to want to commit suicide?
Being in a household with just a dad, no real mother figure, and no other family other than him. Him not being around really, working all the time, just kind of gets lonely, and I guess I got depressed and didn't really see the point of things. So
When you made that decision about suicide, did it give you like some kind of release?
it did, because there was so much going on that I couldn't do on my own. I felt like if I did it, it'd kind of, take me out of the way and make things easier on everyone else. So, yeah.
Was your reason because of anger or hate?
Yeah, a lot of anger, definitely a lot of hatred towards myself for being so clumsy. Definitely pain, a lot of pain. Just didn't know how to handle it.
You yourself, have you ever lost any close friend or family member to suicide?
I lost family. Again, I didn't know the person, but when the word got around to my father, apparently he was close to him. We went to his funeral, and I finally met him. It wasn't pleasant because there was a lot of family and strangers that I didn't know about that everyone else knew about. But yeah, he was the only person that I've lost to suicide.
Do you still suffer from depression today?
Yeah, yeah.
Would you mind telling us your story of what happened before you tried to commit suicide?
Just coming back home late at night. I was just done hanging out with a friend of mine, And I come home and my dad was upset with his girlfriend. They were arguing in the other room. And it always seems to be that way in my house. A lot of yelling, a lot of arguments, fighting. And a lot of it was always kind of aimed towards me. So, when everyone went to the room, it got later at night. People got tired and they went to their rooms, and I was alone in the kitchen. And I did cut a lot, but I always cut with whatever I found, which usually wasn't sharp. But I made a decision that night that if I forgot what my dad told me, but he said something to me that kind of really got to me, and I was like, all right, so if that's the way, the only family I got feels about me, then all right. I grabbed a cleaver that we had, and I held onto the edge of the counter, and I swung the cleaver down and cut, and I didn't feel the pain. All I felt was the bone. Found out, he saw it, he got upset, but after that we had a real talk about why I did it and how I felt about things. Yeah, I just kind of kept that to myself.
Did you have any issues with bullying as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I was picked on a lot. Mostly for my skin color and everything else, and being Hispanic, from both whites and from Hispanics. Also for being overweight as a little middle schooler. Yeah, just a lot of physical features that I was picked on for, and didn't really have friends like that. Yeah.
If you can go back in time, would you still go through with it?
Yeah, I think I would, because I wouldn't be who I am now. I wouldn't have the progress I have now if I didn't make the mistakes I made and go through the things I went through. So, yeah.
Suicide claims more lives than murder, wars, and natural disasters combined.
So, I lost a friend I knew for 16 years in early February. I met him when I was like three or four, and I just knew him my whole life. When we were growing up, he was like always a really happy kid, and like he just didn't really worry about much. But like as he just got older, just stuff got worse, and just a lot of personal things with him. But he couldn't handle it, I guess. I don't know. It's just it hits you hard because you don't expect it. Like I was laying in bed. It was like 11 o'clock, and Kenny, his best friend, called me and told me, and I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. I'd had problems before, but like when you lose someone that just has been there your whole life, it just seems unreal. Like it's not possible. We had hung out a week before, and he seemed fine, and it sucked because I tried talking to him about something that happened before, and the only thing he said is just when he gets bad, he just doesn't want anybody there. I don't know. It sucked really bad. It's kind of hard to talk about it.
How did it affect you and everyone?
It was like reality kind of punches you in the face. Just like when you're younger, you really don't think about people dying or not being around. It's just they're there, and like you just expect them to be there. And so, like, it hit hard for everybody. Just everybody hung out with Jared. I wasn't as close with them like at the end that I should have been. we both had like separate lives, but we always hung out and always talked. And it's weird because like still driving down the road, like I'm expecting him to just be walking or me to go into Circle K and see him and just like talk to him like old times. It's just like it's not real. So lost a friend I knew for 16 years in early February. I met him when I was like three or four, and I just known him my whole life. When we were growing up, he was like always a really happy kid, and like he just didn't really worry about much. But like as he just got older, just stuff got worse, and just a lot of personal things with him. But he couldn't handle it, I guess. I don't know. It's just it hits you hard because you don't expect it. Like I was laying in bed. It was like 11 o'clock, and Kenny, his best friend, called me and told me, and I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. I'd had problems before, but like when you lose someone that just has been there your whole life, it just seems unreal. Like it's not possible. We had hung out a week before, and he seemed fine, and it sucked because I tried talking to him about something that happened before, and the only thing he said is just when he gets bad, he just doesn't want anybody there. I don't know. It sucked really bad. It's kind of hard to talk about it.
If you know anyone that is having suicidal thoughts or attempting to self-harm, please don't stay quiet. Reach out and help.